That's what it's like whenever you go to get groceries or something, you know? And you gotta get back there. Things are just in the way, so it's so annoying. But this is what I've done for the cold nights. Got this guy. It's just a blanket tacked up there, and then at night I let it down, and then it's just around the bed only, and right in front of the desk. Hard because I can't sit up now with this. But what I came up with, because this futon actually is only 5 feet, so your feet dangle off, but everything's in the way, but my cubbies are right here and I'm on the bottom. And I came up with the best solution. I just pull my cubbies out, and I already had this board that just fits right there. So put a blanket on it, and then I got the foot extender. Got salt everywhere too. But yeah, we got to get things together. It's kind of a mess at the moment. All right. Here's a quick look on how everything works and is put together. So over here is the charge station where the solar comes in, the battery that I use as a table, my little nook thing to put random stuff. I have this if I need to put stuff in there. I always keep a prayer candle going. But I've got this blanket up here only for the cold days. I'm gonna take it back down soon because it's annoying and in the way. Everything's a tight fit, especially with the bed being up higher. I'm right at the ceiling, so it's really annoying. It's like stomach roof. I can sit down there because it drops down by an inch on my floor. So I can sit over there. But there's the lighting. I did this ring light, and you can adjust it or whatever, different, like, you know, not like a fancy colors and all that, but it's just a nice, perfect little light. But I also have regular lighting inside, so I can have like even lighting. I'm trying to defrost my bangs because they fucking froze. But the other disbenefit of being up here is I'm right next to the vent, so I have to worry about hitting that controller because it doesn't have as soon as you head off, it turns off, and then that's bad because yeah, it's not good. So I'll try to get down here. Alright, now I can sit up. Put the blanket up. I gotta rig it some weird way, you know, to try to completely enclose it all off by the blanket, so that I got a wall, my blanket wall, crammed in with a bottle of allergy meds. And then the fan runs on battery. It runs for about 12 hours before it's got to get charged. It's important because when it's cold in small spaces, you need wind. You need wind to move it around so you don't have all these cold pockets. So the fan is essential. Obviously, bathroom stuff, but more importantly, I always have to have a lot of this because it's kind of like it's necessary for everything. My little cook area, I can see in there, you know, nothing in the pot, but that's my little makeshift cook area. Over here, some trucker dropped off a bunch of these, which actually they come in really handy because now I can pull things out. So got my food area, all this is shelf stable stuff, but you know, whatever you can have in a warm area. And then these are my clothes, and then just whatever random stuff that, since these are clothes, you only get to them once a day to change your clothes, so it makes more sense to put things that you use often on top of them, because those you get to often, so it's works out, you know. But then one of the problems with this bed is, well, the one thing I hate the most about this damn bed is my topper. This is so hard to not stain up, and even like the smallest thing touches it. You know, it's pretty hard to be able to eat and not get this messy, so I've got to wash this pretty often. But so the thing about this futon, other than being so high off the ground, which sucks, is it's only 5 feet, so your feet hang off the edge too. So then that's what we came up with here. This is my foot area. It just makes sense to have it there anyway, because then you don't have these. You don't have to step on these, you know. That's why I had carpet in the beginning and was going to clean all this and then put the carpet down. So I can't stand, I don't step on it. But so this is what I did. All right. I gotta move this guy out of the way for a sec. But it's actually such a genius solution. Hold on. We're gonna have to block it for 1 second. I got nowhere to set this. Just hold on. I'm still here. All right. Okay. So there we go. It's such a great solution because they're already right there, so it's not even a big deal. And then eventually, whenever I can use this as a couch, I am going to have a lot of room anyway. I mean, I kind of do have a lot of room now. I've got to proportion it better. Got to get these, we need to be down about 3 inches. I also can't put a mattress on here right now anyway because it's too high up. But yeah, that gives you a bunch of extra foot space, and it's not really important. You know, it doesn't need to hold your body. It just gives you that extra feet space that you need when you're not laying directly all the way up at the edge. So yeah. And whenever I'm cooking, I always cook on low, so that's what makes it okay to be doing up in here, you know. That's it. My little guy. Crack the window. Turn it off because I ain't wasting stuff. And yeah, so I can cook, I can see, I can get to everything. And nothing is not exactly, like, everything's utilized the best that it can. So like right here, I keep this big stuffy guy, really just to block off wind, but you know, if I need like an extra pillow, then that's what I use it for. But then Mr. Piss Jug, obviously you don't want that in sight, you want to have that out of the way. And then the diesel, this is how crazy it is. The diesel heater tank fits exactly for this, like it was made for this exact thing. Then all my hygiene stuff goes here. Medications, hygiene, food, clothes, and then where, you know, random stuff like my seasonings, and I use those pockets for like knives and stuff. And yeah, pretty simple. Spoon and a knife, a pot. I cook on low. It's easy to clean. That's why I have these, because mostly everything has to be cleaned like that. You clean it as soon as you cook out of it, and you don't cook things that stain. So that's kind of some of the problems I have. because some foods I want to make, I want to, cook a nice good cheeseburger and fry that thing up, and you got to cook it on low. So I have to make the exceptions, but it could be worse. I wouldn't be able to cook. The other problem is this. These grates. This pan has to be directly right on that spot, otherwise that happens. And when you're making sauce and stuff, it sucks, because the other day I was making fish, so I had to make some oil. This is full of oil, so it was very precarious. Just got to switch that out. I got some. I got to be able to get to them, but my aunt never freaking answers to let me go over there. But yep, that's what we got going on here. And currently the doors are, I think that the locks are frozen. This one, I was able to get it open, but I can't use this one to get in and out of, because this is like a wall, This is only to open temporary to fill this guy. So whenever I open that, I've got to take all this stuff down. And there's like, hats and gloves and scarves and all that. So that's how things become difficult. And then we got Reflectex on every window. So that's the best insulated it can be. And then I just went ahead and put a blanket over that whole back half to help insulate. And what else? What else could you talk about to show off a little place? I think we covered it. Trash can, dirty carpet, water essentials. Oh, my refrigerator. The thing is, it's cold, so the floor is cold, and so that's probably half the challenge too. Because I got to be able to find sweet spots where things that need to be cold can be kept cool, but not frozen. So this is my little refrigerator back here, next to the heater. Insulation behind it to keep things from freezing. And then things that need to be a bit colder than that, like milk. I find this has got to be this is the section. Oil gives you a good idea of how cold it is if it looks like that. This is vegetable oil. So that's how I know that this is a prime spot to keep things cold but not frozen. So everything has a place. Everything has a meaning. Right here is where I keep my vegetables. I keep them right there so that way it's the same thing. We're getting it warm, just warm enough in here. And then it being cold on the other side, this little pocket keeps them like at a fridge temp. I've had to learn all this by freezing and destroying food and losing it, but that's I think that's about it. This is how we watch phone. This is probably the only other extra thing. We got a little tripod, and then it just barely fits right up here, and then that's usually have it right around there, some shit, but that's where I watch phone. So it's got its little thing holding it, and I don't have to always hold it all the time to watch some stuff. Yeah, I guess that's it. Foot extender. Everything is. I've been able to figure out a way to multi-use just about everything. One thing that does suck is this bed is so high off the ground. I almost wish that it could stay that high, because I could put tons of shit under here now, but obviously I cannot. because this is temporary. I ain't even thinking about that. I'm worried about how much space I'll even have, because I think I have to go down 3 inches, and it's like 6-inch legs. So I mean, I'll only have 3 inches of space. I could put brooms or something under there. Well, that's it. We're gonna make some fajitas, I guess.